It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC South. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans, and it's coming right up on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a good matchup in the AFC South between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Oh, good move. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Here's Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Stroud off the play fake. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
And one of the things that has really impressed me about Ryan Tannehill has been his perseverance. Early in his career, didn't have the success that he desired. Had some injuries that slowed his development, but he kept working at his craft, and now he's a guy that I think you can put a game on his shoulders.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Tannehill. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st down, Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Room here to run. Derrick Henry all alone. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, 64 yards. And the Titans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Stroud now on 1st and 10. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Stroud sets up the play action. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
One of my teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver. And it results in an incomplete pass.
Let's go, man. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Stroud to throw it. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Here goes Stroud again. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Danico Autry, now 2 sacks for him already here in this 1st quarter of play.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has the better leverage at the line of scrimmage?
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. His throw incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action, it's Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Desmond King back deep. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Stroud now on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
The offense on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Throwing now is Stroud.
Open man is Noah Brown. And they work this out past the 25. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Stroud on 3rd down now. This ball caught by Mechie.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
First and 10, it's Stroud.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 8 coming up. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud.
And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Stroud will look to throw once more.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Caleb Farley.
And the Titans are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Jalen Petrie picking up the sack on a safety blitz.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it. Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's the option play now to the left. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a 1st down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Option play, and it's a handoff to Pierce.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Stroud looking to throw.
He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Pierce now up the middle. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Stroud now on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. Well, they turn to their bigger body there on the dive. Fullback dive, just couldn't get it done.
And sometimes even that bigger body needs even bigger bodies to help him get there. They weren't able to create a crease for him, ended up not getting the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw, Tannehill. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And he wisely will throw that one away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Jonathan Grenard
in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
The Texans with the football here late in this first half, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. On first down, here's Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singleton.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Tannehill. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Tannehill. And it's a Titans touchdown.
Chigakonkwo,
As the first half is winding down.
and the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10.
And he finds his target. It's Schultz.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Final play of the half, Stroud.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Titans in that first half. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's where this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Tannehill. Got an open man to the right. That's Wesco. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make the...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Darren Stingley picks it, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6, and I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Henry again on second down.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Now Tannehill.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now fourth down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
and the Texans will take over.
And now out comes Houston. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Now Stroud.
He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Stroud now on 1st and 10.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Stroud out of the gun here.
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 41-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Pierce gets this one running right. Down inside the 40.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Stroud to throw it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 12-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Stroud sets up the play action.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Stroud now on 2nd down.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Being chased out left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down in distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Stroud on 3rd down now.
Flushed out right. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Tannehill now to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running left, it's Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Houston's offense taking over again. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
First and 10, it's Stroud. Quick slant to Brown.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Stroud. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Throwing now is Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. They run here with Singletary. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Stroud. Man open left side is Brown. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, Stroud. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Tennessee offense set to go again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Henry running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, here's Tannehill. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
This offense so far on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Houston set to take over. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. He's got his man. That's Woods on the out route. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 63 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff for Pierce. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 more there and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Eluding the pressure right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it. I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Give to Pierce. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. Right side completes to Mechie. And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now to Mechie on the jet sweep. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Play action. Stroud now. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Texans have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Phillips. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Tannehill on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tannehill. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He's going to look downfield for Henry. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. He's going to take another shot here. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Singletary here running out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Tannehill.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.